This is another community aquarium that I have. I've got a few syndontis catfish in it, a number of plecostomus. I think the last time I tried to count them was about 20. And I'm about ready to put some food in the water, and there's about half a dozen mollies that I've had a little colony of them for a long time, and then some new little half-black guppies. And I'm going to put this food in now and see if you enjoy the feeding behavior that's usually present when all the there are cherry shrimp in this aquarium also. And I'll just sort of aim the camera down so that there's not as much glare on the back of the glass. The little plecostomus will be coming out, I think, from the other end of the aquarium and from their hiding places. I always like to give my fish adequate hiding places so that they feel more at home in their aquarium. I don't know if you probably will see a few shrimp, these cherry shrimp swimming around. I haven't done any selective breeding, so my cherry shrimp are no longer cherry at all. They're just variety of shades from dark cherry to I don't know what you'd call the regular color that they are. My son gave them to me as a present, I think about 3 years ago, and I've had this one aquarium where they can reproduce and not be eaten by all the other fish that are in the tank. Well, now you can start to see how many plecostomus I have. I think it's pretty neat to have the natural colored Ancistrus plecostomus in with the albino Ancistrus plecostomus. Usually the males have large spiny noses, that's why they're called that. And like this one here is probably a male, and they have spines that stick out just below their eyes. They can stick them out on little arms that stick out of their heads almost a quarter of an inch, and they use them as weapons in fighting and in territorial disputes. And they're an extremely interesting fish just in their own right. A lot of times people have them and they don't get to see this kind of incredible behavior. If you give them the right kind of hiding places, they actually can successfully raise young, even in a community aquarium. The males protect their eggs from being eaten, and some of the devices, like this little piece of plastic that I have glued sand onto, just beyond them is a hollow tube about 1.25 inches in diameter, and they will swim inside that, and the males will try to entice the females to go inside and lay their eggs. And if a number of females, they're a community kind of breeder, more than one female will actually breed with a dominant male, and and then he will guard the egg mass. The eggs are quite large, and when the babies hatch from the eggs in about 3 or 4 days, the babies are extremely edible. Almost any fish out there, if it sees a little baby Ancistrus plecostomus, they'll just gobble them up because they're relatively slow-moving and easy to eat, and they don't have that well-developed spines that the adults do. Almost all these plecostomus in here are more than a year old, and I did have a baby the other day that I spotted, but I haven't seen him today. If I do, I'll zoom in on him. In the meantime, I'll just let you guys enjoy the plecostomus feeding frenzy, and you've seen a few of the cherry shrimp swimming around in the tank. But like I said, I'm not selectively breeding them, so I think in order to get a really beautiful shrimp population, you have to get rid of the ugly ones and keep the pretty ones and or the colors that you want. And I think they're full, you know, I don't know how big they even get. The biggest one I've ever had is about an inch long. They're pretty neat little crustaceans that can live in fresh water. They call these plecostomus algae eaters because it's largely thought that they clean the algae off of glass and things like that. And when they're starving to death, it's true that algae eaters, plecostomus, do eat algae, but they need some more food than just the algae that grows in a regular aquarium to do well. You've got to give them wafers. They have special food wafers that are given to plecostomus, and they do really well with algae wafers, I think is the name of it. I don't usually do that, but zucchini, I take parboiled zucchini where you cook it in the microwave and then anchor it down to the bottom of the aquarium, and then the plecostomus can come out to eat it. If you're trying to raise baby plecostomus, the baby plecostomus, is real important to provide them with lots of food when they first are born, and then of course not keep them in an aquarium where there's lots of predators. And like I said, everything is a predator to a baby plecostomus. This is some sort of pondweed that I have grown. I think it's milfoil. It's an invasive species that grows in our local river systems, and I don't think anything can really eat it and enjoy it. You know, most of plant-eating fish ignore this kind of plant. A few of the cherry shrimp are hanging out in the seaweed in the top of the aquarium, and the plecostomus are still going after the. I feed them shrimp pellets, and it's a large mainstay of their diet. And then when I drop carp eggs in here, for the syndontis catfish that are in here, they also eat those. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to make them. I'll try to answer them any way you can. These just natural colored plecostomus are, in my mind, almost more beautiful than the albinos. Look at those fins. Quite a show.